Hello and welcome to the first of this week's Targets and Focus programme. I'm Monica Gibson and today I'm joined down the line by Guillaume Salomon, FX strategist with Societe Generale. Guillaume and I will be discussing his predictions as to how the euro will perform against the Hungarian Florint, Polish Zloty and Czech Koruna for the weeks and months to come. Now Guillaume, before we get on to your chosen pairs, we have a busy week ahead of us in terms of economical data and political events. But what would you pick out as the biggest potential market movers and shakers this week?
I think sentiment is starting on a very fairly shaky footing. I think there are two reasons for that. The first one is obviously you've had the downgrade of the UK late on Friday, and now we're waiting for the results of the Italian elections. So these results should be published around at 3 o'clock onwards today. The question for the market is who's just going to come at leading these initial results, and whether we're going to find ourselves in a situation where a coalition needs to be put together. So on that basis, I think sentiment in general for the market is quite uncertain, a little bit shaky, and then obviously at the end of the week we've got quite a heavy set of economic data out of the US as well. So I think it could prove to be quite a challenging week in general for emerging markets.
If we look at the euro against the Hungarian Florint, according to some analysts, the nomination of the new NBH governor could result in more easing, probably beyond that of markets' current expectations. At the same time, many believe the Florint could be allowed to weaken quite significantly from here to bolster the economy. This could result in an implicit weakening of the NBH inflation mandate. But what are your short, mid and longer term forecasts for this pair?
You've picked exactly the right one. I think the one that everyone is going to focus on is definitely the Florint. The reason is at the end of the week we're going to get the announcement of the new governor. From all the sources and all the talks and the various leaks in the press, it looks like it's going to be Economy Minister Matocsi. Is very in line with the party, the Fidesz party in Hungary. And on that basis, what we're going to see in Hungary is indeed more easing. In general, I think officials would leave with a bit more currency weakness down the road, and I think that's probably the way things are going to pan out in Hungary going forward. A bit more currency weakness and rate easing for definite.
Moving on to the Polish Zloty, which is being tipped to lead Central European currencies higher in the next 12 months. These predictions are off the back of an expected economic recovery in the European Union's emerging markets. Do you agree with this sentiment?
We like the Polish Zloty. We really think that eventually it should go all the way down towards 4.10, and we really like it. The problem short term is it is trading as a high beta currencies. It is interesting to see that in spite of the rating outlook on the end of last week, which was positive for the Zloty, for definite, the performance of the currency actually on the back of it was fairly limited. The reason is that given the uncertainties that we've just talked about in Hungary, and given the low level of yields in the Czech Republic, the portfolio managers targeting C4 are heavily geared and heavily leveraged and long of the Polish Zloty. And that's why it is one of the currencies that struggles to perform at times of uncertainty. And today, and the last few days, is indeed a very good example of it. We had, as I said, the positive revision to the outlook, and the Zloty has really struggled to make any headway. So I think our forecast will come validated towards 4.10 and possibly lower, but I think you need to see the global environment improve, and these uncertainties in the Eurozone being lifted up.
And finally, if we look at the Koruna, you mentioned earlier the Italian elections. The crown does seem increasingly susceptible to external factors, and an anti-austerity victory could drive this pair down. Investors have also closed some long euro positions, scaling back expectations for market interventions by the central bank to weaken the crown and help exporters. Therefore, are you expecting much volatility from this pair moving forward?
I think you're probably right. The central bank will try to avoid volatility in the currency pair. There are two things I would keep in mind though with the Czech koruna. The first thing is the threat of intervention is, I think, slowly easing, slowly abating. I don't think we are going to see any intervention in the Czech koruna, except if it was going to substantially strengthen from current levels. At the same time, I cannot see the trend that the Czech koruna weaken too much either. We know that positioning is, especially on the options side and the derivative side, has been very much trying to play for a weaker crown. And I think all these strikes that have been struck around 25.80, 26 are weighing on the pair. So for just Euro Czech, we'll try to have a little look lower. But as I said, I don't think it's going to be too drastic. I think we'll probably go down towards 25 and probably a bit below that. But I can't see a massive move in Euro Czech going forward.
Guillaume, thank you again for your perspectives today. It's been very interesting speaking to you. Well, that's all from me at the moment, but keep an eye on the latest market news by clicking back to Dukascopy throughout the day. Bye for now.